Welcome back to English 4.0, the radio show. Let's go! Advanced. Hello, friends, and welcome back to the program. Welcome to the advanced portion of class number 157. We have the phrasal verb here. This is yesterday's class, starting with 156, our review. We were talking about the phrasal verb to make up for something, in the sense of to compensate for, to make up for lost time, recuperar el tiempo perdido, to make up for lost time, to make up for the loss, to make up for his lack of experience, compensar su falta de experiencia, to make up for his lack of experience. And I think that sometimes having a strong character and having a good attitude can make up for a lack of experience. I really think that's true. In terms of being a good communicator, having the right attitude and confidence, I think, is very, very, very important. And that can help you make up for maybe some grammar deficiencies. You can make up, to a certain extent, you can make up for that with confidence. But so to make up, to compensate for, to make up for. Okay, now, the next thing that we were getting into, I'm going to move quickly today through this review because I want to make sure that we have a chance to talk about everything today. We talked about to afford, which is essentially permitirse el lujo de comprar algo o tener suficiente dinero para comprar algo. But it can also mean, well, permitirse el lujo de algo in the non-financial sense as well. I said yesterday, I can't afford to smoke 4 packs of cigarettes every day. Now, financially, I could, I suppose, but my health, I would be paying too much in terms of my health. It would be terrible for my health. I can't afford to do that. But, of course, most of the time when we use this verb, to afford, we're usually talking about financial. We're usually talking about money. We say, I can't afford a Rolls Royce. I can't afford a Ferrari. I can afford a Toyota, but I can't afford a Ferrari. I can't afford to call my boss a fool. I can't afford to say that. I don't think that by any means. But saying it would be ridiculous. I can't afford to do that. I would be punished. I would lose my job. Right? I can't afford to sleep in until noon every day. I would lose my job for that too. I can't afford to do that. Okay? I can't afford to eat only hamburgers every day. It would be terrible for my health. Of course, I can't afford financially. Also, I can't afford a mansion on a private island. Can you afford a mansion on a nice private Mediterranean island? Can you afford that? I can't. I can't afford it. It's too expensive. So to afford, typically with money, but not always. Can you afford? Permitirse el lujo de algo. To afford. All right, let's move on now into something new. All right, let's take a minute now for the expression of the day. Expression of the day. All right, it is time now for our expression of the day. And our expression of the day is a pep talk. Pep, P-E-P, pep talk. A pep talk is essentially a motivational speech. A pep talk. I remember when I was in high school, we used to have what we called pep rallies. A pep rally was essentially an assembly of the students, and we maybe would have some music or some motivational speech from someone to try to get people excited, maybe before a sports game. If there was a football match between the high school team and another team, we want to get people, all right, everybody, let's go to the game, let's do our best, and try to get people excited about it, try to get them pepped up, excited, get them excited about the event, about the game. A pep rally. So now a pep talk is, yes, a speech aimed at motivating people, getting them excited, getting them, excited about something that's coming up. So pep, the word pep is essentially to invigorate someone or cheer them up. As in, this drink will pep you up. The good news about his recovery pepped us up. So now, in this word, apparently, I did a little research on this. Apparently, the verb became popular in the 1920s. And the noun as well, pep, denoting vigor and energy. And it came from the abbreviation of the word pepper, which, of course, is a spice with a biting, sharp quality. So it comes from pepper, but we say pep. He's got a lot of pep, you can say, meaning he has a lot of, he's got energy and he's interesting and sharp. Pep. So a pep talk is a speech aimed at getting you excited, getting you motivated. A pep talk is our expression of the day. Sometimes I give students pep talks on the radio. A little pep talk. You can do it. Do your best. All right. Come on, good job. Give you a pat on the back and say, all right, excellent. Trying to pep you up a little bit, get you encouraged to do your best. Okay. I hope you find this course peps you up. I hope you find that it gives you the motivation that you need to learn. All right. Now as we move into class number 157, we see the phrasal verb to go about doing something. To go about doing something. So this basically means abordar algo. How do you do something? How do you go about doing it? What is the procedure that you follow to do this, whatever this thing may be? How do you go about doing it? How do you go about setting up a computer? How do you go about learning to play the guitar? Well, if you want to learn to play the guitar, how do you go about doing it? Well, I suggest you take some classes and practice. Practice a lot, take some classes, get a good teacher. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Sounds like learning English. How do you go about learning English? Well, to go about learning English, what's the procedure? How do you go about it? What's the procedure that you follow? Well, you have to expose yourself to the language. You have to study. You have to make an effort. You should get a good teacher who will motivate you, who will pep you up and motivate you to learn and give you the tools. And then you have to use the tools. You have to listen. You have to study. You have to speak. You have to make an effort. How do you go about doing it? How do you go about learning English? I think it's really important. I was listening to an interview the other day by an interview with an Olympic athlete. And he was asked how he went about reaching the level of, that outstanding level of achievement within his sport where he could go to the Olympics to become an Olympic athlete. Out of all the people that play his sport, he could go to the Olympics because he reached that elite level. And he was asked, how do you get there? And he said, to improve so much, and I think this transfers to learning English or anything else. For him, he said it was all about making sure that it was fun, staying motivated, but making sure that it was fun and that he wanted. So he became very, very physically fit because he found sports and activities that he enjoyed doing. And I think that transfers to learning English. I really think so. You have to find the tools that you enjoy and use them. So you have to read in English. So the world is full of English. The world is full of things to read. Go on the internet and read things that you enjoy reading. If you love rugby, for example, well, go online and find web pages about rugby and read about rugby. You don't have to read something because it's your homework. Hopefully you read something because you enjoy reading it. And while it's in English, especially at this level, at the advanced level, you should be reading things online without too much trouble now. So really, the world is full of materials. You have to take advantage of them. Oh, it sounds like I'm giving you a pep talk. Am I giving you a pep talk here? I hope so. Well, but getting back to our point here, to go about, how did you go about doing it? Ask me how I went about fixing the printer. Kyle, how did you go about fixing the printer? Ask me how I went about explaining the process. Kyle, how did you go about explaining the process? Oh, well, I just simplified it into the basic steps. Ask me how I went about telling her the bad news. Kyle, how did you go about telling her the bad news? Ask me how I went about getting a job here. Kyle, how did you go about getting a job here? Well, I went about getting a job here by, I guess meeting the right people at the right time, I suppose. Ask me how I went about making such a great apple pie. Yeah, that's a little-known fact, but I make a very good apple pie, I must admit. Ask me how I go about making such a great apple pie. Kyle, how do you go about making such a great apple pie? I think the first time I said it in the past. Ask me how I went about making a great apple pie. But I do it. I've done it a few times, so I go about it. I've gone about it, and I go about it every time the same, following the same method. I use a recipe that my mother gave me, and it's very good. Apple pie. I love apple pie. It's delicious. So I follow the steps very carefully. I'm sure there are good recipes you can get online. Again, if you're interested, go online and read it in English. Learn about it. Do it all in English. The more you read, the more you learn. Keep exposing yourself to those tools. Let's move on now to the vocabulary of the day. Vocabulary of the day. All right, it's time now for the vocabulary of the day. Our 5 words of vocabulary. Obra maestra. Masterpiece. This is a masterpiece. Yes, a masterpiece. Renovación. This is a renewal. Renewal. Yes, I have to renew my driver's license. I have to go for a renewal. Dimisión. Resignation. Resignation. Essentially, you're quitting the company, but you think, maybe, in this case, maybe you think that you're going to be fired, but you don't want to get fired, so you resign. Oh, I didn't get fired. I resigned. It was my decision. It looks much better than being fired, right? Dimisión, resignation. The verb to resign. Sensible. Sensible. We say sensitive. Sensitive. Luz solar. Luz solar is sunlight. Sunlight. Yes. Sunlight. Luz solar. It makes sense. Sunlight. All right, great. Let's move on now. We have one more thing to do, and we've got about 4 minutes to do it. We'll see how many examples we can fit in with our translation list. Translation. All right, it is time for translation list number 57. Number 1. Nuestra reciente campaña de ventas ha sido un éxito. Our recent sales campaign has been a success. Our recent sales campaign has been a success. Number 2. Estoy satisfecho con tu actuación. I'm satisfied with your performance. Yes, I'm satisfied with your performance. Number 3. Tu rendimiento ha sido por debajo de la media. Your performance has been below average. Your performance has been below average. Number 4. Si no hubieras tenido tanta prisa. If you hadn't been in such a hurry, to be in a hurry, Tener prisa, to be in a hurry. If you hadn't been in such a hurry, Number 5. Habrá una fiesta de despedida para ti. There will be a farewell party for you. There will be a farewell party for you. Number 6. Por lo tanto, puedes contar con mi apoyo. Therefore, you can count on my support. Therefore, you can count on my support. Number 7. Somos el número 1 de nuestro sector. We're number 1 in our industry. We're number 1 in our industry. Number 8. Todos se beneficiarán de esta decisión. Everyone will benefit from this decision. Everyone will benefit from this decision. Yes. Number 9. No solo tú, sino tu gente también. Not only you, but your people as well. Not only you, no solo tú, not only you, but your people as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 sentences left, but I'd like to stop there. We'll save our 3 last sentences for tomorrow. We'll be reviewing all today's content and so much more. I do hope you'll join me. My name is Kyle. Thank you very much for listening. Remember, if you have any questions, write in. And we have tutors available for you through the website, vahoganingles.com. Be sure to write in to the tutors. They're there to help you. We're following the content today on the radio, as always. The radio and the television, the same program, the same day, the same grammar structures practiced today on TV, reviewed tomorrow on both the radio and the TV. Take advantage of it. Study hard. Sounds like one more little pep talk, maybe. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.